One tiny hornet with a needle just caused an absolute bloodbath. Steam's sales data for the last 3 months just dropped and Silksong topped the chart. We all knew it would do well, but the scale of this is insane. Team Cherry's indie Metroidvania sold more than double any other new release. Almost as many copies as the top 5 games combined. It beat every major franchise that launched, including Borderlands 4, which had a 60 quid price tag and a marketing budget the size of a small country. AAA's entire playbook just got bodied by 3 developers and an insect. So let's talk about what actually happened here, because the numbers are absolutely crazy. There's a reason we keep choosing these games over the latest mega budget releases, and there's a reason that AAA keeps getting caught with their trousers down over and over again. So Silksong sold 4 million copies on Steam in the last 3 months. Borderlands 4 sold 1.7 million, less than half of Silksong. Now Borderlands made more money, of course, $104 million versus Silksong's 64 million, because they're charging more than 3 times the price. But here's the thing, when you've spent God knows how much on development, marketing, PR tours, influencer campaigns, all of it, you need to shift some serious volume to come close to breaking even. Making more money doesn't mean you're making profit, especially when you're selling half as many copies. What makes it even worse is Steam's spending was up 18% over the last year. We had more money to spend on games, we just decided to spend it on something else, something worth it. But here's where it gets properly embarrassing for AAA. It's not just Borderlands 4. Silksong outsold every new release that quarter. Every single one. Those 4 million copies are nearly as many copies as the next 5 games combined. Dying Light the Beast sold 1.3 million, Grounded 2 managed 0.9 million, Wu-Chang Fallen Feathers got 0.8 million, and FIFA 26 half a million copies, and that's it. Meanwhile, this 20 quid Metroidvania about a bug with a needle more than doubled all of them, while also being on Game Pass day 1. Impressive is an understatement. So something clearly went wrong for Borderlands 4. This was meant to be a return to form, from a franchise that sold almost 100 million copies combined. So what happened? Well, it launched with performance in the toilet, the usual day 1 mess that's become the norm, and when we complained about that performance, Gearbox's CEO called Borderlands 4 a premium game for premium gamers, basically saying that if your PC can't run it smoothly, that's your problem. Proper mental response when your game's getting hammered in user reviews for poor performance. And meanwhile, Silksong launched at just 16 quid, ran on a Steam Deck, just worked flawlessly. And the worst part, despite Randy Pitchford saying the game wouldn't be discounted for a long time, it's now on sale at a 20% discount. Not to mention that Borderlands 4 has only 19,000 people playing on Steam today. Silksong's got 43,000, more than double, weeks after launch. That's not luck, that's players voting with their time and choosing to spend it on a game that respects them in return. Now look, I can see it coming already. Some of you might argue that this is all about the price, but if that were the case, then Steam would be absolutely dominated by 2 quid shovelware. Price matters, but it's only half the equation. The other half is how a game actually treats your time once you've bought it. Is it made with passion? Is it fun? Does it respect you? Silksong does. Borderlands 4 clearly didn't. But there's something else going on here that explains why Silksong more than doubled Borderlands' player count, which a lot of people seem to miss, and that's trust. Hollow Knight came out in 2017, an amazing Metroidvania, beautiful art, challenging, 20 quid, it just worked. No BS, no upselling, no deluxe edition with 3 days early access if you give them another tenner. Team Cherry just built a game, polished it, sold it honestly, and people loved it. So when Silksong was announced, we didn't just want it, we trusted and knew it would deliver. Borderlands 4 was a different story entirely. When the 3rd game came out, it left a sour taste for everybody. The Calypso twins fell miles short of Handsome Jack. The game was buggier at launch than previous games and the humour just felt forced and cheap. And then of course there's Randy Pitchford. The Gearbox CEO has spent years systematically alienating his own fanbase, telling us that real fans would figure out how to pay $80 for the game. The years of thin-skinned Twitter meltdowns where you just couldn't ignore criticism. And that's not how you build trust. That's how you burn it to the ground. And meanwhile, Team Cherry just kept their heads down, a small team kept deliberately small to preserve the creative flow that made the first game work. Years of patient development, zero controversy. When Silksong finally launched, it delivered exactly what was promised. No performance issues, no deluxe editions, no CEO telling us our PCs aren't good enough, just a finished game that respected our time and our wallet, made with passion and a focus on quality. And when they release their next game, we will all be there ready to buy it again. And I can't say the same for the next Gearbox game, and that's exactly the problem with AAA games these days. Most of these studios have spent years destroying our trust, letting us down, gaslighting us to think that we're the problem. Then they wonder why their games underperform. Trust is what makes people click buy instead of just waiting for a sale. And maybe you're thinking this is just one bad launch for Borderlands, one great indie game, except it's not. It's constant, and it's just embarrassing for them at this point. It's devastating. Indies made up nearly 48% of Steam's revenue in 2024. Not downloads, revenue. The money isn't disappearing, it's just moving to studios that actually deserve it. Publishers just keep blaming everything except the obvious. They'll blame us instead of themselves. They'll blame your system instead of their poor game optimization. They'll blame our intelligence instead of just admitting a game was poorly written. They'll blame us for not getting their vision instead of admitting the vision was just boring. That's why all of these AAA games these days just fizzle out. But you know what didn't fizzle out? Silksong, Baldur's Gate 3, Helldivers 2, Valheim, Stardew Valley, Clair Obscur, Hades, and so many more. Games that launched finished, priced fairly, trusted their players, and earned our trust in return. This keeps happening because publishers refuse to learn the lesson. They keep charging more, delivering less, and wondering why we're not grateful. Meanwhile, these small teams are just eating their lunch with games that just work. Silksong isn't David versus Goliath, it's a case study in what happens when you lose your audience's trust, and trust, it turns out, is worth far more than any £60 price tag. Now look, this isn't all AAA bad, all indie good. That'd be stupid. Some AAA studios do still get it right, believe it or not. And there's no better example than From Software. Elden Ring sold over 20 million copies, just a finished game that respected your intelligence and your skill. From Software have earned our trust through years of great games. Rockstar could release a 2D chess game and we'd all be queuing round the block ready to drop £100 on it. Why? Because they've earned our trust and we trust their vision to deliver something great. Even Sony's first party stuff, God of War, Spider-Man 2, these are massive AAA productions that work because they're just complete experiences that are written well. Quality single player games that just do what they promise. The pattern really isn't big budgets equals bad games. It's disrespect your players and lose their trust. The AAA studios thriving right now are the ones who have figured that out. The ones bleeding money are still acting like we owe them something. And as sad as it is, coming from someone who loved Borderlands back in the day, Gearbox are one of the worst examples today. So yeah, Silksong beating Borderlands 4 wasn't a fluke, it's the new pattern. And the studios refusing to see it will just keep bleeding money until they figure it out. As always, thank you so much for watching, appreciate you. If you enjoyed the video, do me a favour and make sure to like, comment and subscribe and maybe even hit that hype button. It helps the channel out so much more than you know. Thanks again, I'll see you in the next one.